Hi guys, after my presentation today, I had a couple people ask me how in the world I rendered my wood. So I figured I would create a video showing you how to do that. I actually looked up a bunch of videos and then just copied other people, but this is the technique that worked best for my colored pencils. I have Prismacolor. I used, this is Canary Yellow. This one is Terracotta, and this one is just brown. So first of all, move these out of the way. I colored the whole thing. I went with like the shading whichever way the sun was coming from, and that's the angle that I followed. So the sun would be coming in from over here, just kind of like my light is right now. And I did a light yellow over the whole thing. It's gonna take just a little bit. So with wood, I started this drawing by just drawing some slats like you'd see on decking, because I feel like having the slats underneath the drawing helps the wood just pop and you realize that, oh hey, that's a wood plank. So that's what I did on my drawing over there. You can see too. Color, 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 color. All right, so after you have like a thin layer of yellow, it's okay that there's shading and different spots that are lighter. It'll give the overall effect of wood. So you can see there's sections that are a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. That's perfectly fine. Next one, you take the terracotta and you go over very lightly again. I honestly just tested out my hand weight, so sometimes lighter showed up, sometimes I had to push a little harder on certain spots. So just put a light layer of terracotta over top of the yellow so you can see that there's a difference and that it's there. Thankfully I'm left-handed, so this video is super easy to make. Bear with me while I finish the terracotta. Like I said, when you're doing this, if you need to go back over places, that's perfectly fine. You kind of just keep doing it till it looks right to you. It's trial and error. So, terracotta, I'm just making a little bit darker. It's like an orangish red color. Okay, now for the fun part is adding the texture of the actual wood. So what I did is I took the brown and kind of hard, I made dashed lines just a little bit bigger than a stipple, using a good amount of pressure because you want these to show up later once we use the brown to create more of the swooping effect. So kind of just pick spots to add these. They're going to be the knots in the wood. It's up to you how many you want. Some wood is more knotty than others. Terrible joke, I know. All right, so after you add some knots, then what I did was I just took my brown and I made like swoops around the knots with a little less pressure. Because when you look at wood on a tree, it's got rings around it. And they don't have to be perfect. You don't want them to be perfect. Some are bigger, some are smaller, some are over the knot, some are like to the side of the knot, some show a little bit of yellow through it. Once you have that done, what I did was I started with each plank. This is the most time-consuming spot. And I just made swooping motion with my pencil in all of the planking. You just add swooping lines that kind of follow the contour of your knots. So like if I have a knot here, kind of come over it. And then in places I'd push a little bit harder, and other places I'd go softer, just to create a little bit more dimension and texture effect. In here, this is the part that takes the longest, that is for sure, as I'm sliding everything down across my desk. But you can see it's already getting the look of wood on my paper. And if it's a little too yellow in some spots, just bring your brown over it. Once it's all finished, it'll look really, really good. You're not gonna even notice the yellow, and it'll just look like light reflection on your wood. So there's half of it done. Starting to look a lot like that deck over there. But now you know, this is how I render wood planking. And I'm only gonna do half of this for this video because otherwise it's just gonna take a lot longer. But you see the most effect. So then you take your pencil, fill in a couple yellow spots that are too drastic. Make it a little more brown. You got some time on your hands. Color some wood. And there you have it. That is how you color wood. Like this.